Hello everyone and welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video we're going to learn how to crochet this beautiful shawl with the crossed shell stitch, and at the end we're going to add a Solomon's knot border. So let me just show you how it will look. So this is the corner of our shawl. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. I am going, in order to create the shawl, I used an Alize Angora Gold yarn, which is 80% acrylic, 10% mohair, and 10% wool. And because every yarn that has mohair in it, it's very, very difficult to frog. So make sure that before you start creating your shawl, that you test the stitch with another yarn. So because we cannot frog the mohair, I am going to make the sample with an acrylic yarn, which is this is Alize Extra. It's in 90% acrylic and 10% wool. And I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook. I also used a 4mm crochet hook to crochet the mohair yarn. Okay, so make sure you do your sample in order to test the stitch with another yarn, because we cannot frog the mohair. We're going to start with our magic circle, so wrap the yarn around your two fingers once and bring it on the top left. Take your hook, put it under the right stitch, under the right yarn, over the left, and pull it over. Wrap your hook around once, grab the left yarn and pull it through the loop. Having done this, we have our first chain, so we're going to crochet 2 more. So I have a total of 3 chains. Those 3 chains count as 1 double crochet, although for the first row they do not count as anything. This first double crochet does not count as a stitch in our first row, and I'm going to show also in the next rows how the beginning 3 chains, they really don't count in the row, but they're going to help us to crochet the border in the end. So this is a double crochet, so just put it in the side. We do not count this in the row. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to work 7 sets of 2 double crochet with a 2 chain in between them. So let's start. Work 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 2, work 2 double crochet in the center of your magic circle, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the center of your magic circle, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the center of your magic circle, 1, 2, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the center of your magic circle, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the center of your magic circle. Okay, now so let's see how many sets we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of 2 double crochet. So I'm going to chain 2 and I'm going to work 2 more double crochet in the center of my magic circle. So this is the 7th and last set of 2 double crochet. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of 2 double crochet. So now I'm going to grab the yarn that I started my magic circle with and I'm going to pull it tight. So this is how our work looks like in the first row. We are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We are always going to be chaining 3 to start a new row, although this chain 3 does not count as a part of the row. That chain 3 is going to help us create the border in the end. Okay, so chain 3 and turn your work. In the first chain 2 space, work 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet in the same chain 2 space. So 1, 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, all under the first chain 2 space. Now I am going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work my first crossed shell. So I am going to skip the next chain 2 space. I'm going to skip the chain 2 space after that, and I'm going to put my hook inside the third chain 2 space. So I'm skipping 1 chain 2 space, 2 chain 2 spaces, and I'm going to put my hook in the third chain 2 space. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work 5 double crochet in the third chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do not mind the work so far that it's curving inside. That's because we haven't crocheted the other 5 double crochet. Okay, we worked in this chain 2 space. Now we're gonna move in the previous chain 2 space right in here, and I'm gonna work 5 extended double crochet. Make sure you do not get confused with the row that we're creating now. We want to be working in the previous row, the same row that we worked the 5 double crochet. So move back in the previous chain 2 space and work 5 extended double crochet. Okay, so just pull up the yarn loosely up until you reach the height with the other double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extended double crochet. So this is our first crossed shell. So now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go in the last chain 2 space for this row, and I'm going to work again 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. 1, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet in the same chain 2 space. Okay, so this is how row 2 looks like. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. So always in the first chain 2 space we're going to be working 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. So the first chain 2 space, 1, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet in the same chain 2 space. Now I am going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So pay attention in the chains that we're crocheting. I'm starting this row after the shell with 4 chains, okay, after the first shell. So I'm doing 4 chains, but in the end, after I crochet on top of the shell, instead of crocheting 4 chains again to complete my row, I am going to only chain 3. This is not a mistake. This is done in order to have 2 equal sides on our shawl. And you're going to see in the rows that will follow that on the one side, see how this side seems as that it has more chains than this one. So that's why we're doing the 4 chains here, in order to have 2 equal sides on our shawl. If we do not do that, this side is going to be more open and this one more closed, so in our shawl it's not going to look nice. So chain 4, and now I'm going to work 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet on my shell. So I'm going to have a total of 10 stitches. So put your hook in the first double crochet and work a double crochet, 1 in the next one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and my last stitch 10. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So instead of chaining 4 as we did in the beginning, we're only chaining 3. Put your hook in the last chain 2 space right over here and work 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. 1, 2, 2 chains, and 2 more double crochet. Now we're going to start our next row. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be a row of crossed shells. So this is an easy pattern because it's a repetition of rows 2 and 3. So in the one row we're going to be creating shells, and in the next row we're going to be creating the double crochet on top of the shells, and then a row of shells, a row of double crochet. So that's how this pattern is going to continue. Okay, so chain 3, turn your work. In the first chain 2 space, we're going to work again 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to start creating our crossed shell. So our first, in this row we're going to have 2 crossed shells. So our first is going to be created between the second and the third double crochet. I'm not going to put my hook right inside the second double crochet. I'm just going to put my hook right in between the second and the third stitch, right in here. And I'm going to work my first 5 double crochet. Okay, so just put your hook between the second and third double crochet and work 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now I'm going to move back 2 stitches. This is the stitch that we crocheted in, and I'm going to move back 1 and 2 stitches. So I'm going to work my 5 extended under the chain 3 space. And make sure you're crocheting in the correct row, because we want to be crocheting in the row that we finished. Make sure, because it's easy to be confused, you do not put your hook under this chain 3. We want to be working in the previous row. Okay, so this is where we crochet 1, 2 stitches back. And we're going to work our 5 extended double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is our first crossed shell, and now I'm going to go to the last double crochet out of the 10, and counting backwards I'm going to count 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your hook in there and work a single crochet. Now we're going to work the second crossed shell, and I am going to go in the last under the chain 4 space, and I'm going to work my first 5 double crochet. So this is how every row of stitches will end. Okay, in the last set of 10 double crochet, at the end always we're going to work a crossed shell. So put your hook under the chain 4 space and work your first 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now move back 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. So counting backwards, put your hook between the second and third double crochet right in here. So go back 2 stitches, we crocheted under the chain 4, so 1 and 2 stitches, so right in between the second and third, counting backwards, and we're gonna work 5 extended double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and put your hook in the last chain 2 space and work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. So this is how the row of crochet shells look. So we have 2 shells in this row, we had 1 shell, 2 shells. Now we're going to create the row of double crochet. So chain 3 to begin and turn your work. In the first chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet in the same chain 2 space. Now chain 4, and this is the only time that we crochet chain 4 in the beginning of the row that we create double crochet. So after the row that we create the crossed shells, in the beginning of the next row we crochet 4 chains, 2, 3, 4. So now go ahead and work 1 double crochet on top of each stitch in the shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now I want to go ahead and crochet in the next shell. So I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and go ahead and work 1 double crochet on top of each of those 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And although we started with 4 chains over here, we're going to crochet 3 chains to finish our row with. So 3 chains, and in the last chain 2 space we're going to work again 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. So this is how our work looks like so far. Now we're going to start our next row where we're going to create shells again, and we're going to have a total of 3. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. In the first chain 2 space we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to go ahead and start crocheting our shells. So again we're going to put our hook between the second and third double crochet out of the first set of 10. So 1, 2 double crochet, we're going to put our hook between the second and third stitches. So we're going to work our first 5 double crochet. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we're going to move back 2 stitches, 1, 2, and I'm going to put my hook under the chain 3 space, and I'm going to work 5 extended double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our first shell. Now we're gonna go to the last double crochet out of the first 10, and I'm gonna count backwards 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your hook in the 5th stitch and work a single crochet. So we finished crocheting in the first set of 10 double crochet. Now we're gonna go into the next set of 10 double crochet, and I am going to work after the between the second and third stitches my first 5 double crochet. So from here I'm gonna skip through the last double crochet, I'm gonna skip the chain 2 space, and I'm gonna work my 5 first double crochet between the second and third stitches. Okay, so put your hook right in here and work 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now I am going to move backwards 2 stitches, 1, 2. So see here, I'm going to move backwards 1, 2 stitches, and I'm going to put my hook right under the chain 2 space, and I'm going to work 5 extended double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So go to the last double crochet from this total of 10. So go into the last double crochet and counting backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your hook in the 5th stitch and work a single crochet. So now in order to do our increase every time in the last set of 10, we're going to be working 2 crossed shells instead of 1. So in every set of 10 double crochet, we're always going to be creating only 1 crossed shell stitch. But in the last set of 10 of every row of shells that we create, we're going to be creating 2 sets of shells. So go ahead and put your hook under the chain 4 space and work your 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now move backwards 2 stitches, 1, 2. So counting backwards, put your hook between the second and third stitches right in here and work 5 extended double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and put your hook in the last chain 2 space and work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Okay, so we have 3 shells in this row, and this is how our work looks like so far. Now we're going to start the next row where we're going to crochet double crochet on top of each shell. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. In the first chain 2 space, work 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Chain 4, make sure that you remember to chain 4 in the beginning of this row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go ahead and work 1 double crochet on top of those first 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we're going to go ahead and crochet in the next shell. So we chain 2 and work 1 double crochet on top of those 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's go ahead and crochet on top of the last shell. So we're going to chain 2 again. So every time we finish the 10 double crochet, in order to crochet on top of the next shell, we always chain 2 and work 1 double crochet on top of each of those 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and put your hook in the last chain 2 space and work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. In the first chain 2 space, work 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to start creating our shells. So as we did in the previous rows, we're going to put our hook between the second and third double crochet, and we're going to work our first 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to move backwards 2 stitches, 1, 2, and right under the chain 3 space I'm going to work 5 extended double crochet. One, two, 3, 4, and 5. So this is our first crossed shell. So now go counting backwards from the 10th stitch, count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and work a single crochet. So now we completed working the shell in the first set of 10. Now we're going to go into the next set of 10 double crochet. So I'm going to skip through the last 4 stitches, skip through the next chain 2 space, and put your hook again between the second and third double crochet of this set of 10 stitches. So put your hook between the second and third stitch and work 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we're going to move backwards 2 stitches, 1, 2, and I'm going to put my hook under the chain 2 space. So we're moving backwards 1, 2 stitches. We're going to put our hook under the chain 2 space, and we're going to work 5 extended double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now go to the 10th stitch of this set of 10 and count backwards 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and work a single crochet. So we finished working our shell in this set of 10. So now we're going to go into the last set of 10 stitches of this row, where we're going to work the increase, and we're going to work 2 shells in the last set of 10. And this is going to happen every time we work a row of shell stitches. In the last set of 10, we're going to be working 2 shells. So skip over the last 4 stitches, skip through the chain 2, and put your hook between the second and third double crochet. And work 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we're going to move backwards 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and we're going to put our hook under the chain 2 space right over here, and we're going to work 5 extended double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So counting backwards from the last stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, and work a single crochet in that 5th stitch. And in order to complete our row, we're going to create one more shell under the chain 4 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochet. And now we're going to move backwards 2 stitches, 1, 2. So counting backwards, we're going to put our hook between the second and third stitches to work our 5 extended double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is our last shell. See how it eats up all the chain 4? That's why we have to chain 4 instead of 3 in the beginning of the next row. So we're going to work our in the last chain 2 space, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Chain 2, 2 double crochet. So this is how our shawl looks like so far. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 crossed shells in this row. Okay, so let's start the next row, which is the last row that we're going to work together. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. In the first chain 2 space, we always work 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to work 1 double crochet on top of those first 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we're going to crochet in the next 10 chains, 10 stitches. So chain 2, and go ahead and work 1 double crochet on top of those next 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we're going to crochet in the next shell, so chain 2 and work 1 double crochet on top of those 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to work in the last set, in the last shell, so chain 2, and we're going to work 10 more double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're always going to be working 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet in the last chain 2 space. Okay, and chain 3 to start your new row. So we're working together up to this far. Now you're going to go ahead and complete your shawl off camera. This is a repetition of 2 rows, the row with the shells and the row that we just created. In my shawl, I have a total of 61 rows. So you can count your rows by counting the rows of the shell that we do in the beginning, the 2 double crochet in the chain 2. So by counting those rows, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows that we worked together. We have a total of 4 shells. So I'm going to go ahead and work 1 more row off camera where I'm going to have 5 shells, and then in the next video we're going to see how to create the Solomon knot border. We do want the last row of our shawl to be a row of shells. Not the row that we just created, but the previous row. We want it to be a row of shells. So we want an even number of rows in our shawl. I have a total of 61 in mine, and in the next video we're going to see how to do the Solomon knot border. And the reason that we want it to be the last row a shell is because it's going to be straight open. See, when we do the rows of just the double crochet we just created, it kind of curves in. Okay, so I want it to be the row of shell stitches. And the other reason is because our border is going to come out correctly and even from the one side to the corner and from the corner to the other side of our shawl. So let's go ahead and finish off camera, and in the next video we're going to see how to create the border.